Yes. Welcome to our viewers and listeners, wherever you are. I'm happy to welcome again Coach Jatin Patel and Cricket Show President Leon Francis. This is the Cricket Show radio edition at www.blogtalkradio.com/The Cricket Show. You can join us on the radio broadcast at 1-515-605-9850. Join us on our YouTube channel at thecricketshow.org. We hope to spend a few minutes today to discuss and review the very delightful match between South Africa and New Zealand. And maybe not all teams we'll cover, but certainly the teams of today. So good evening to you, Coach. Good evening to you, Leon.
Good evening.
Pleasant good evening to you, gentlemen, Coach and Dennis.
Well, let me, being the elder statesman, kick things off here. So, South Africa booked their semi-final slot along with India. South Africa played the 32nd match of the 2023 World Cup against New Zealand. New Zealand won the toss, and having a record, New Zealand have a record of batting first. They decided to ask South Africa, who, having batted first 5 times, have won all their matches. This is smart, very smart. And I'm sure that tonight, New Zealand is really smarting from the licking that they took. Quinton de Kock, 114, and Van der Dusen, 133 runs, with a little help from David Miller, 53 runs, cemented another triple-digit runs total of 357 for 4. This South Africa batting display was powerful, it was aggressive, and it was intimidating. A total of 7 New Zealand bowlers threw what they could, none could pierce the shield. Among the New Zealand batters, Phillips 60 and Mitchell 24, they tried. But the South African bowlers had all the aces. Maharaj, 4 for 46, Jansen, 3 for 31, Coetzee, 2 for 41. This match in American baseball parlance is one where New Zealand is on strike 2. One more strike, and if it's against Pakistan, and New Zealand could be out, especially as their final match, New Zealand's final match, is against Sri Lanka, who would be playing not only for their egos, but they need to take something positive back to Sri Lanka. So New Zealand could be due for a rude awakening. Should that occur, Pakistan could be smiling all the way to the semifinals. The only obstacle there is that Pakistan would have to take care of England. Definitely not a hard task at this stage of England's dreadful performances. So the pack has been shook up. Let's see what comes out after tomorrow. Back to you, Leon, for your thinking, your thoughts.
Yeah, thank you for those very, very thought out expression. This match was a wonderful match. I, failed to say this, but New Zealand, after such an awesome start, faded badly. And I don't know if it's the leadership of Williamson or his batting, but they look lackluster, losing 3 consecutive matches. That is so sad, so sad. And having been bridesmaid for three tournaments too, right? Runners up, and can't even go into the final this time, it looks like. But who knows? They're not out yet, but they're still in. Gotta say, applaud to South Africa. Because they're known to be chokers. They scraped through the last match. When I said scraped through, it was a nail biter right down to the wire. And today, well, they made no bones about it. They say this is ours and we're gonna take it.
Take it.
But I must comment on the young player Johnson. And this guy is one of the best bowlers that ever come out of the World Cup from South Africa, and playing his first tournament. Guys, when you look at our West Indian players who were much better than him, and they have not reached the standard this young man, and he's not finished yet. He is, like say, he's just getting in his prime. So, guy, give him a little more years, and he put on some more weight, and he gets some more experience. South Africa has to be a team to be looked at and can't be underestimated. I got to applaud Bavuma. You know, he being a black player, number one, and he himself have not scored centuries, but he stayed there and make sure that he always have a good opening partner with the cock. And my goodness, he led the team well, and there's nothing to worry about his leadership. Even though he doesn't make the 50s and the hundreds you were asking for, he's there. 50 partnership to begin with is always a good start, and then the middle order just finish off for him. So I gotta say congratulations to South Africa at this point. They're not home yet, but they're in the semifinals, like you rightfully say. And New Zealand, who looked like they were front runners, hanging on by the tooth of and then they're by a thin line. We wish them well, but this is cricket, and you can't underestimate anyone. And South Africa, not only South Africa, but New Zealand has got to watch themselves, because they too, like England, not sure of going to the semifinals. So we'll wait and see. That's my take.
Coach?
Well, first of all, if you don't do the homework about what team is doing and how they get here to compete against you, and just go in the ground, is not the way you play cricket. It works in recreational cricket, not in international cricket. And that is the missing point. New Zealand has it. They made changes. They try to shuffle. They gamble for not batting first. Even you know that South Africa is doing really good without pressure if you put them. I always say that bowler does not take wickets. Batsman is the one gives you the wicket.
Yes.
But bowler can force the batter to give you wicket. It's other way around. The bowler bowls to the batter to create a discomfort where the batter makes mistake, mistimes it, whatever you count on it. But you are forcing batter to do something against your will, and that is your wicket. That basic was missing. When the batters are throwing bat at everything, hitting hard, you got to attack the stumps. There is a three-way in this fast-paced short version of the game is you must confuse the batter three ways. We call it three factors. One is, does he really want to play that ball or not? That's the first confusion you can create. Number two, if it is a particular length and wise, then it creates another mess. Do you want to play cross bat or straight bat? And the third confirmation is the length of delivery. Whether you're forcing this batter, whether he wants to come forward or backward. Now, if you can create this moment where the batter is confused for more than one criteria, you are definitely ahead of it. Either you're beating him, getting wicket out of him, or you are constraining from the going for the heavy runs. When they're hitting so hard, you can't just bowl different way and thinking like, okay, he's hitting, he's going to mistime it. No, by the time this batter is settled down, and he can take even good balls to the out of the ground. And that is what happened. South Africa has a strength, 5 good batsmen at the top. If you let it go, one of them free, they have the capability to score 100 in matter of 40, 50 balls. That's a capacity they have. It's a bowler has to work with it, the defensive part, right? They are aggressive. They got it. And as I said, challenge comes when they face India, believe it or not. It will be the tough challenge because India is a smart street cricketers, we call it. They know how to deal with it. Right? They pick up the line and they came out with almost every possible crisis and challenge this tournament. So I will say South Africa's toughest challenge is that game against India. All I can say, whoever wins, they will be the #1 team to going forward semi-final. As I was telling you yesterday, watch out for Pakistan. And New Zealand has served the plate for them now. Take it on. Whoever wins next game, New Zealand versus Pakistan, to me, looks like whoever wins is going semi-final.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain again to us the semi-final procedures? Is it going to be team 1 against team 3 and team 2?
No, team 1, 2, 4, 2 to 3.
1 to 4.
It's a standard format. 1 versus 4, 2
And
versus 3.
3.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So for the South Africa and India, it may be better advantage to go at technically 1 for a reason. So that way, I'm expecting Australia can be at 3.
So we could well have India and South Africa could well
meet in the semis.
Could well avoid the semi but play the final.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting. All right.
It's not their choice, but this will happen. And this opens up the 2 teams. It's open window now. Afghanistan can upset 1 or 2 performances and they're still in. And the same thing with Pakistan. But I'm more confident on Pakistan side. They will bounce back. They are coming behind to take it out. And if they take care of the New Zealand, they are in.
They're in. Most likely because they'll take care. I think they should take care of England. Right. If they take care of...
That's what I was just going to say, gentlemen. You guys are counting out England.
England is out of business anyway. They have absolutely no way to make it, right? Because even they make it, the net run rate, they don't have it.
They could act as spoilers, but they
spoilers, yes. Okay.
So England can help somebody to become a hero. Right. Let's take out the Australia or one of the game remaining, and they can help someone else to go up.
Right. But I don't see it.
That's like our childhood game. If you are not able to climb the tree, don't worry about it. Whoever is going up, pull their legs. If I don't make it, you don't make it.
Well, certainly I don't see Australia really having any problems with the matches they have remaining.
Don't you be sure. Be sure.
Let me tell you, England is winning 1 or 2 games from here on. Take it this way. Believe it or not. England is taking 1 or 2 games out of remaining 3.
Right.
The reason for that, enough is enough. They know they're going nowhere for this tournament, but hey, what? Can we just play free for fun? And that can bring the disaster for other teams.
Yes, it could.
Yep.
Right?
Because at their best is
not to Australia. Australia will play.
You never know. Australia and England is like Ashes rivalry, right?
Well, by that I mean England may beat Australia, but Australia still have to play Afghanistan and Bangladesh.
Exactly.
And either way, 1 win, possibly 2 will cement it. 1 very likely Australia would be in. New Zealand.
You have to consider that Australia has not faced these spinning wizards. Now these 3 games has at least 2 spinners. Think about it. England has a Rashid and Moeen Ali. Bangladesh has 2, And Afghanistan has a two great,
Rashid
and there is a third one. So there is a three spinners. So Australia has not seen this particular challenge before. And these are the quality spinners. They have the numbers. It's not just spinners. These people have the numbers.
Yeah, but the law of averages, coach. They have 3 matches to play.
Yeah.
And these are do or die matches. I think they'll take at least one, most likely 2 out of those 3. I just don't see that Australia is going to, especially.
No, Australia is going to make the semi-final for sure. Let me tell you.
Right,
Their position is not in any risk because they have the easygoing schedule if you compare to the other teams. And because of that, all they need is a 1 win out of 3 and they are in. So they are more safe than New Zealand. New Zealand is got now concerned. One lose can jeopardize their position.
Yep.
Especially if Pakistan beat them.
Which is the next game. They are on the next game is their final game. You decide you want to go semi-final or you want to go home.
Well,
I just want to make this point because you guys are saying about the spin that Australia has not faced. But they got a guy in Australia named Travis Head. If he puts on, he is informed against any bowling in the world, he can dismantle it. So don't you be too sure that Australia is going to crumble against spin. If Travis Head comes off, he's going to come off big. And that will make people like Smith and Labachani and of course Warner make a few.
We have seen over and over in this tournament when spinners are on the roll, it's a very hard to score against them. And that is the reason on a given day, if the spinner is getting little help from pitch and the weather, they are on song. Look at their economy rates. Whether they get or not is not important, but they can tide you up. They can tide you up. And that is the big thing. And to my surprise, Pakistan is the number 1, can create mass now for any team. And then be extra careful on Afghanistan because they are on the roll. They are on the roll. And now they have figured out how to win it. And we call it the moral tempo is really high to do well. And that will be a real concern. And the way their batters are batting, building the inning, in terms of the partnership and saving wicket strategy, which is the basic core coaching point, they are maintaining very well. Same thing in bowling. We have seen over and over, they are try to batsmen tied up. Don't let them lose. And they succeed so far. And that is the huge challenge when they have the real confidence needed to go in the game. They are bringing more confidence than what they had in first game now. And that is the key part for the championship contender team. So I will say it's not about New Zealand, Australia anymore. Watch out Afghanistan and Pakistan because one of them is making the way to Final Four.
But Jatin, it's win or go home. The next are back, the backs are back to the wall. They're right back. And Australia tend to do good when they're that way.
That is the key point. Is you need to be concerned. Like Pakistan is always play that sort of strategy.
Yeah.
When they are against the wall and they know they're going nowhere, they usually come out freely. Hey, we have nothing to lose. Let's go for it. And it works. Every time they come out with that kind of intention, it's a disaster for the team.
Yes.
Because they are playing fearless. They don't have any expectation out of this game. And they will just take care of the business for that. They have a fun. And guess what? When you have like half dozen guys with the same mindset, other team is done.
But because New Zealand got beaten today, Pakistan could well see that there is a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
And that may affect their entire performance, whether it's going to be the positive one or whether it's going to be the cautious one. It depends. And I think they probably need to be aggressive, you know, or else they against New Zealand, or else they are going to be, you know, they're going to be
So
going on.
now the door
I
is
thought
open, the door is open, and they're gonna find the escape route. Whatever the shorter one is, they'll take it.
They're going to,
I thought New Zealand missed Williamson not
yes.
only as a batsman but as a captain.
Mhm.
They miss his input into these games because they got a good start, but he wasn't there most of the time.
Yes.
And now is the time they needed him most. He's still not there. Today's match, he should have been in there to make a good 60, 70. And perhaps the other players like Philip and the young Red Ginger, which I'm very impressed with the youngster, that young opening batsman, the Indian opening batsman for New Zealand. He has played well. He's one of the top leading scorers in the tournament so far. And if he were to have some support,
too.
and
Saudi was
Saudi,
missing too.
yeah,
Ravindra is a great asset to New Zealand.
yeah,
He's
yes.
not just opening batter who can
But he
contribute
can
and
throw
score
over his
runs,
hands
but
too.
he can bowl too.
He
So
can
he's
throw
like
over his hand, yes,
he's
yes,
giving
yes.
you a sixth baller in the team. Then that's a
Mhm.
huge. Any team who has that sort of caliber, you can count as contender. Don't forget, like West Indies when they win first to World Cup, they had a few
Yeah.
Richards, Larry Gomes,
Richards
who can
came
bowl,
in
who can
and
bowl,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that's like a huge advantage
Mhm.
when you have top five who can be your part-time bowler.
And
Coach-
Phillips as well too. You know, he surprised me in the opening
Yeah.
games. Phillips is one who can come in and give you a wicket or two, and then you go
Leon,
back to
we're
your
only seeing
regulars.
half of your face.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. All right.
All right.
Coach,
I'm speaking with half a face.
Right.
yes, yes. So we hope it's not half a word.
Yes.
Coach, you remember a couple of nights ago when you discussed with us the preparation that Afghanistan had made. Now, you know, that brings to mind what we had observed in the T20 final a year ago, where Ireland and Scotland came out with their bit of paper. Do you remember playing West Indies? They came out with their bit of paper and they were literally taking their notes from their
Coach or whoever.
their cheat sheet, if you like. And so they were prepared. And we see that that preparation provided dividends for them, because not only did they beat the West Indies, but if I remember correctly, South Africa got beaten too in that similar sort of fashion. So clearly, this must be something now that maybe a lot of other teams, seeing the effectiveness of preparation, as you pointed out, Coach, will certainly be looking to make sure they go out prepared from now on.
The last minute reminder is a more important than preparation. All team does game preparation. All team has a, we call it a pre-game team meeting before the captain goes for the toss or something like that. But then after, when you let them loose for a couple of hours,
Yes.
and when the crisis time comes, you need to have a reminder,
Yes.
even at the last minute, to make sure the person is going in have the proper mindset so he can stick with the game plan. And that is the key. And that is what Afghanistan is doing it at this point. They are staying with that plan, and the reminders are there right in dugout, right in dugout. Thus, they also follow, if you look at it, these water breaks or the other breaks they are taking, the messaging exchange going on, communication is definitely a serious concern to stay with the game plan.
Yes.
And that is what it's working for it. And it's like, I will not be surprised to find few more things if the cameraman can stay a little bit longer in that dugout area and some critical area. You know, a lot of time we watch that they are showing you coach and maybe in front of the laptop or something, but there are so many cameras out there, 30, 40 cameras around the ground, and every cameraman has a different thing to record And
Yes.
you got to lucky enough to see certain things from certain camera, because if you understand the system of camera is like all the cameras is on the ground is controlled by the controller, the director, they call it. As in front of the screen is like 40, 60 screens.
Yes.
Every camera is connected to screen, and this person is directing everybody.
Yes.
If he needs something from the ground staff or cameraman, he's the one communicates like, hey, cameraman 3, can you get this? Cameraman 2, can you get this? Like that, right? And at the same time, he's a director to show what is need to go to the world in a streaming. If the match referee wants something, he's the one switch on and off those screens. And that is what we are watching on TV. So we have to have that lucky moment.
Yes.
If that can trigger all the way. I know how it works, but yeah, definitely. But now the good thing I'm watching is a few, the skill set they have developed in terms of the coaching is a really nice one, really good one to learn if you want to really improve to play in this shorter format of the game.
Right.
You know, a couple of points. I saw the other day New Zealand were in trouble. And who was accompanying taking out the water? The towels.
Williamson.
Williamson.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's amazing, Jatin, you and I, we went down to Fort Lauderdale or Lauderhill, as Virgil would say. And it was amazing to see the media room.
Yeah.
So many big towers of speaker and whatever they have, the equipment.
Yeah. Lot of tons of cables. I don't know whether that
tons of
that
cables.
I'll send you pictures.
Yeah.
I'll send you pictures. There's a point. Yeah.
I have seen, you did send them. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
My
like a
goodness.
technology jungle, we call it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
But technology is improving and changing, and that's a good on this point when you say Williamson was with the towel and water. That's a beautiful thing. These legends are putting forth together for the next generation. We see a lot of cry out and anxiety and expectation from a lot of players for the playing time. And when they are not getting opportunity, and if they are being forced to sit down on the bench, they get disappointed. And there is the point. There is the point we need to see the example when the Ken Williamson is a captain of New Zealand. He is bringing in the water for the batter.
Yes.
Virat Kohli, he was off the game and he is bringing as a 12th man support to the ground. So these are the prime example. It's not about your status. It's not about your position in the game. It's about your desire, what you're willing to do for the game, which is more important. Means, are you able to support your team with any position? And that is what these legends are displaying in this World Cup.
Yeah. Leon,
a case in point, Dennis, just before you come back in.
Pace again, Leon.
Oh, have a second. Yeah, a young man was given an opportunity to play for Middlesex from the Caribbean. And they asked him to go and roll the wickets. He came back home, man. He said, no, I didn't come there to play to roll wicket. He lost an opportunity.
Humility.
Yeah, he lost an opportunity. You got an opportunity to play for Middlesex. Whether you're in the second division or third division, grasp with your both hands. You're not getting the help in the Caribbean. But you're saying, no, I didn't come here to roll wickets. I came here to play cricket.
I mean, there is a lot of people thinks that way. Like, I supposed to be in the team, or if I'm not, I suppose not to do anything. You know.
All right, Coach.
So anyway, the next game is India Sri Lanka, and it's going back to the venue where they had a big game last time in 2011 when India won that championship by beating the Sri Lanka. We are going back to the same ground, Mumbai 1 Khede. And take it as a granted, I'm expecting both sides will go with 3 spinners.
How about outfield? Is it a large outfield?
No.
The question is, Coach, do you think India will attempt to preserve their players from, at least try to protect the players from injuries by taking out a few of the more, shall we say, seasoned players and bringing newer players?
No,
You think
not at
they'll
this
go-
point. Not at this point. Reason for that, I believe Hardik Pandya is not playing this game.
Yes, yes,
So
that's the point.
that will open the one spot for it. Number two,
who will
they are at the position now. It's not about getting injured. It's getting about get customized with this situation coming up. We are approaching the playoff, so there is no point to have a rest here.
Okay.
In other words, all the batters and bowlers needs more turn practice, right? The opportunity to play and compete, and they will continue. So they are not going to stay relaxed and say, okay, this is just a game. No, they want to go out and win each and every game. And I'm expecting either same 11, unchanged team, or just one change to bring the Ashwin in.
Ashwin,
Yeah.
Ashwin.
So India,
One point that has been bothering me for weeks now, when I'm saying I'm going to mention it here.
Mhm.
Do you think that one day West Indies may buy some players to qualify? No, just buy them and just, let them qualify, because some may be certain. England is doing it.
Yes.
Well, England has been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Make
Well,
them qualify.
Five more years and Olympic will change the world. You know how that Olympic works. Like a lot of players,
All right.
lot of players from Russian country plays in NBA. Some of them green card holders, some of them citizen. But when Olympic comes, they are going to back to their birthplace country to represent.
Okay.
And
So-
when that happens, there's a lot of countries, especially associate country, where we have players from other countries, including USA, plenty of them. So we have to see what the player eligibility criteria they will set forth in Olympics, especially for cricket. Because if they go by the birth country, then probably we might have 6 or 8 teams. That's all.
So you think India will go through this
Unbeaten?
World Cup unbeaten?
It
There's
will
a
be
great
depends on this coaching staff now, I will say, because if they take changes at this point, look at this, the changes, 2 teams got the changes and worked out. 3 teams changed, went the other side. So changes are critical. And if they stick with it, same 11 or just one change because of the pitch, then it's okay. But if you're making 2 changes, then yes, India may lose.
Well, given Sri Lanka's heap of troubles right now with injuries and players and so, how do you think tomorrow's match will go?
It doesn't matter, but still they have those 2 quality spinners who can tide you up, and they have done it over and over. The beautiful thing on spinner is they can take few wickets in a matter of couple of overs. That's how the spinners works, right? And it happens in this tournament too. So we have to see if that kind of crash course comes and the team collapse. And if it is happen at the beginning or middle of inning, then team is done.
What do you think of? Go ahead, Leon.
No. Go and make your point, because I'm just a little humorous. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. What do you think of Welalage? Is he there yet?
Who?
The Sri Lankan player?
Sri Lanka. Welalage, I think that's the pronunciation.
Yeah,
Not
he's
yet.
Sri Lankan.
Yeah, but they are like a 2-hour flight from Mumbai. It's not a long distance.
No, the player.
The player from Sri Lanka, the
From
spinner.
Sri Lanka, the one
All around, I guess too.
No,
Is he coming as a replacement?
No, yes, he came in after about the first or the second game. It's Wellage.
Oh, I know what you say. Okay. No, not yet. He is in the squad, but I doubt it if he can get the opportunity. The reason for that, they are still going to stick with that original selection they had, means the original squad. and whatever they can bring it. And this young is a Vela Lage something.
That's
Yeah,
the one I'm speaking
That's the
about.
same one. The same one
But
he's talking about.
he's a good young spinner.
Prospect.
Yeah, a young spinner, and I doubt if they can introduce him in this game against India. He may come back later.
Coach, you're mistaken. He's played 2 matches already.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's playing against India.
Yeah.
I was just wondering what you
because
thought.
one of the game he had created a disaster, right? It was a good spell. So
Right.
I'm expecting that they'll put him back again.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Just one
and
point.
He's a good bat. He's a very good young all-rounder, so they will use it.
You know, I dream. I have been thinking that India going to come up with a delivery that no batsman can play. When he leaves the hand, he never comes off the ground. And the
Then
second
that's a
delivery,
no ball. Leon, that's a no ball.
That's a no ball.
It
no
has
ball.
to,
No, when he drops,
the ball has to bounce at least.
Well, he
once.
gonna bounce once.
At
But
least
when
once.
he bounces, he stay down and don't come up at all. He's gonna bounce, he's gonna hit the turf.
Well, it
But when he
depends
hit
on
the
where.
turf, he's gonna go smooth right through. And the second ball he made, just bowl a ball that drops, that curves and come right down in front of the popping crease, and and beat the batsman in the air.
So I think we can conclude here, and let's wait for this next game, which is going to start in like 6 hours, and then we can follow up again tomorrow, because that will have at least the clear picture about the India standing. Right now they are tied with South Africa at #1 spot, and it will.
Yeah, but they have a match ahead of England. They play one more match, so.
But at least this game will tell us if the Sri Lanka is completely done or not. That's one thing. Right? That's we have to see.
And in which case Australia needn't worry, huh?
Yep. That will be the concern.
Or is it New Zealand? New Zealand
is the concern.
Yeah.
Is it very much so? New Zealand. New Zealand is the problem at this point. And I just hope for their sake, after having been so close for three consecutive tournaments, they get an opportunity to go to the final again. But who knows?
Let's hope.
We'll see. We will see. So join us again tomorrow, if you would, and we will take a look at the India and Sri Lanka match. And again, we'll have another brief session discussing the pros and cons and what did and what did not happen, or what should and did not happen. So good night to all our listeners and viewers wherever you are. Come back again tomorrow. There will be more.
Thank you all.
Thank you too. Good night.